Hello, everybody. Welcome back to We Are Nerd. I'm Joseph,
I'm Josh.
and the unboxing of the Infinity Saga was really fun.
It really was.
It was kind of a bummer that we weren't able to show the glowingness of the pops.
Well, overall, the pops did look.
Oh
really
yeah, they
nice
were great.
Still. You know,
the way it
I was definitely satisfied with it.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, and we were actually inspired by that. By today, we're going to be doing the rankings of the Infinity Saga movies, all 23 movies.
Right. And a disclaimer before we go ahead and start, if we put a movie that may be a little bit higher on your list that, you may feel we didn't give proper comeuppance for.
Or low.
Or too low, those are just our personal opinions. And it's not to say that those movies were bad. It's just that we may have found a couple of them more enjoyable than others. And if you definitely have a differing opinion, just feel free to leave it in the comments below.
I think it's going to be fun to see what...
I feel like the main thing is like our movies that are going to be at the bottom are going to be somewhat similar, and our movies that are going to be at the top are going to be some similar. But I think it's in that middle area where it's going to be like, oh, you put that there, you put that there.
So it's personal. So like he can like a movie a lot more than I like a movie.
Right.
Or there's movies where like every time I watch it, it makes me cry, and you're like, well, well, how do you say? Well, yeah, see, yeah. And let's get started with number 23.
3, 2, 1.
All right. Yeah, put it down. Oh, see? Okay. Yeah, so
Okay.
we came to agreement.
We did.
All right. So why did you pick the last one?
I just feel there wasn't enough payoff for what they introduced. Like, Thunderbolt Ross, the Red Hulk, there wasn't any payoff there. And, with Abomination, there wasn't any payoff there. That was a villain that could have been, really well used in the MCU. And I just feel like there was no real payoff for this whole movie in total.
Mark Ruffalo is the best.
Yeah.
Edward Norton
Mark Ruffalo
wasn't like he wasn't the problem. It was the execution of it. I really like how they got the actor that played Thunderbolt Ross, William Hurt, to come back as Thunderbolt Ross.
Yeah.
I really like his portrayal of the character, and I think it's funny how they have Jennifer Connelly, Betty Ross, to voice Friday, which is also Paul Bettany's wife. So
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty cool.
It is really awesome.
Yeah. All right, that was number 23.
Let's move on to number 22.
3, 2, 1.
Jeez.
I kind of broke it.
Okay, let's show it.
Really?
Wow. Okay. Well, I'm gonna go first.
Okay.
Me personally, I
Right.
feel like there was too much scientific stuff that was overshadowing the action.
It's a movie for intellectuals.
Yeah, and Loki was overshadowing the real villain that was Malekith or
Malekith,
Malekith.
yeah.
The dark, evil dark elf. I appreciated more the relationship between Thor and Loki. I mean, I really enjoyed that. But besides that, I didn't very much enjoy it as much.
Okay.
I enjoyed that, so I am curious on why.
I respect that opinion. Well, it's one of those movies that it's not boring as much as it's just not as entertaining as the other ones. It's definitely not going to be my first choice.
Okay.
And I just thought the movie was pretty slow overall,
I enjoyed it.
And, and then you compare it to like the first Ant-Man, which in my opinion was pretty funny.
It was fun.
I just didn't think Ant-Man 2 was as funny. So this one isn't more of a Marvel reason. It's more of just being a general critic reason.
Okay.
22.
So let's go to 21.
20.
Wait, would we get paid or would we
No,
get sued
you're
if
fine.
we? Oh, would we? Okay, good.
Okay, ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1. Okay.
We good? All right. How about we show it to ourselves? Okay.
You put
Well-
22.
So, who's first on this one?
I'm first.
Okay, go for it.
So the reason
Captain
I chose
Marvel.
Captain Marvel is not that it was a bad movie. And it just comes down to one of those aspects where, again, I'd rather watch other movies first. I really like to see how they interacted before, she was part of the MCU in the major cast, or, how she interacted with the Tesseract first. And it's just so interesting to think that, this person has been in the MCU before all of this happened. So, I'm going to give this movie... Allegedly. Just not super high on my list. So.
Okay. Okay, well, for my movie, Iron Man 2, so just like with the Hulk, I feel like it didn't bring as much into the MCU. Besides War Machine, the Don Cheadle War Machine, getting the new element for his suit.
Black Widow, technically. I mean,
Black Widow, yeah, but I mean, just bringing in new characters. And I get the fact of, him dying and he's being reckless.
Yeah.
Justin Hammer and Ivan. Like I feel like they were trying to do a lot in one
Yeah.
movie that it
They do have a lot of side stories.
like it just seemed overwhelming.
Now to number
Number
20.
20. 20 now.
So for number 20, 3, 2, 1.
Oh shit! I did the same thing that Josh did. Okay.
Okay.
All right, show it to us now. To me and you.
Oh, we switched.
We just switched.
Oh,
Okay.
Nice.
With me, Captain Marvel, I feel like it was more of a good time, but at the same time, it just brings the whole like the portray of it could have been a
Right.
lot better. Brie Larson got a lot of heat for it.
Brie Larson is amazing. I love Brie Larson.
I mean, I can understand why, because I mean, she wanted to get that feminine tone, which I don't mind at all. I mean, like women need to have a good character to look up to.
She was amazing.
I also like Brie Larson. I just feel like their agenda. Me personally, I feel like their agenda went more into the story than it should have been.
Yeah.
There has to be a challenge to make it more believable of me rooting for her. I couldn't see myself rooting for her because it's like oh, obstacle, beat it. And nothing wrong with what they were trying to do. It's just the message was overdoing the story to where it was less enjoyable for me.
You know.
Oh no, I'm sorry. The reason why it's super low is Nick Fury's eye. The cat.
Oh!
Because it was supposed to be a joke. It was supposed to be, oh, what if the cat scratched off his eye? Huh? And then he did it. Oh, no,
That
I did
end
not
credit
like
scene was
that
amazing,
whatsoever. I didn't like it.
Dude, it was amazing. I loved it.
It, it was funny at that point, but looking at it overall, he just seemed less of a badass now. If I could play a clip, it would have been from Winter Soldier. Like, last time I trusted someone, I lost an eye. You trusted a cat? See, he lost a little credibility there.
But that cat saved his life.
Motherfucking. Go ahead.
Anyway, the reason that I put Thor: The Dark World at number 20 is I still think it's a great movie. I loved it. I loved the whole banter of Loki and, Thor. Frida dying was kind of sad, It's not the saddest moment in the MCU, but it's one of those sadder moments,
For Thor, if anything.
For Thor, definitely for Thor. I also liked the end credit scene for that, where we see the Collector for the first time, and then coming a couple months later or a couple years later, whenever Guardians of the Galaxy actually happened, and we see them interact with Collector as well. It's just amazing. It was great.
That was cool. Yeah. All right, so let's go to number 19.
19.
All right, ready?
Why is it down there? Oh, you're hiding it from me.
3, 2, 1.
I need to flip it.
Ooh. Okay.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool. That's funny. I really feel like we're gonna get similar ones at one point. I mean, I guess I'll go first on this one. Well, and I honestly, given is the Mandarin.
Right.
Wasn't a big fan of that. Although I really like the guy that played him, Ben Kingsley.
Mm-hmm.
I really like the actor, and I'm not putting that down on him, but it's just the character. No, it was just a really bad setup.
The payoff was really bad.
And
Yeah.
Aldrich Killian, I mean, I feel like he was a great villain with with somewhat good motives. It's just the Mandarin, they could have done it without him or actually have him have him.
Right.
The one reason why I have it so high is because of the realization how human Tony is with the anxiety attack. All that he felt of that was real, and I felt that growing up, and it's just that really brought this higher than Iron Man 2 because it was more relatable to a superhero.
Right. Okay.
So I mean, that's just me.
Now, as far as me for Iron Man 3, I really liked Iron Man 3.
And it's a Christmas movie.
Right. Well, okay. I really like the fact that, Pepper got, injected with this extremist. She was a superhero. It's a pre-rescue superhero.
Yeah, for a minute.
Yeah, and that was super great. I also liked all those Iron Man suits in that one
was
fight
really
at the
cool.
end.
Yeah.
Super good.
It was like an end game for
yeah,
Iron Man.
Right? Now, I didn't care much for Aldrich Killian, to be honest. I feel like he's one of those forgettable villains. And I mean, Marvel has a tendency to do that, but
the Mandarin really brought it lower than what it could have been. And,
that's a big critique I have, but you covered it pretty well. So
but really, the humanization for me is what really brought it up.
Now, number 18.
18.
It's legal.
Legal 18. I was thinking that too.
Ready?
Yes, I am.
Ready.
3, 2, 1.
I flipped it this time.
Okay. Are we gonna get another point?
Oh, damn. Which is now I'm curious on how you put Iron Man 2 over Iron Man 3. I'm just curious.
I liked the development of Pepper and Tony's relationship.
Okay.
You know, I liked the competition, like the back and forth between Hammer and Stark. You know, the whole industry
Was
is
there a
going back and forth.
competition though? The
No,
ex-wife?
but listen. In all honesty, that courtroom scene where he's like, and
Oh
Hammer,
yeah, I know.
10 years away, like that was so funny.
Yeah, no, that was funny.
Black Widow's introduction,
that
super
was really
amazing. Tony hearing his father's words for him. Oh my god! And that payoff where he was like, "That item's perfect."
Oh,
the
shield,
coil.
yeah.
And he's like, Phil's like, "You know what
Yeah.
this is? Yeah, put it right under there." It's a great.
It's still a good movie. I picked Thor.
Okay.
Me personally, as much as slow as it is, I feel like it's a lot of character development in just one movie. Because you would like a guy that's just really like war hungry, and he's just wanting to prove himself to his dad. And then if he is like, it's not about war; it's about the people you're protecting. And I really like that. I just really like the message that they put on the first movie. And Natalie Portman is always a win.
Natalie Portman, always a win.
I didn't even know her name in the movie. The assistant.
Oh yeah, no,
like
she's
how
great.
she's like meow meow.
She's great.
Yeah, that was funny. I forgot the assistant's name, but we're not gonna get into it. But yeah, I remember.
Darby.
Yeah,
Darby!
Yeah. Like it sounds familiar. Goodness, number 17.
Number 17.
Okay, now I went super descriptive on this one, so hopefully this goes well.
Okay.
I don't know if you noticed, but I'm drawing like little symbols as we go.
I could have been doing that.
You could have. Yep.
For number 17.
Yes.
3, 2, 1. Okay.
Did we get another point? Oh, really? Really?
Paul Rudd is always a win. He
He's
is a
amazing.
blessing. And Michael Pena, he's great. I love him. I just really like the story of just a heist. Because you don't really see that in Marvel movies. I love comedies. And it's a superhero movie. And it's a heist movie. It's just everything that I like in one movie. And Paul Rudd.
Okay, listen. I'm just saying, like that whole flashback scene.
Oh yeah,
at the end
with
is
Louise.
just, yeah, it's just hilarious. It's so funny.
Yeah, Ant-Man is great.
Ant-Man is great.
Now,
Ant-Man's
Doctor
hilarious.
Strange at 17.
So there's a reason for that. It's not that they didn't go into enough detail. It had that whole Inception vibe and psychedelic, and it had its moments where I like Marvel movies that have a little more comedy personally. And I feel like this was one of those more serious movies that it let up for a lot. It didn't hit as well as some of the other movies that are higher on this list. Now Wong featuring Beyonce,
Yeah,
hilarious. Like Single Ladies was so funny. But I also like the fact that we find out that one of the Infinity Stones are there. But yeah,
Oh, okay.
that's kind of why Doctor Strange is a little lower on the list. But he's still like mid tier. Listen, my list changes every day.
It does. It really
It
does.
really
And
does. But anyway, number 16.
Number 16. Okay.
You ready, Chuck?
I believe so.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
Well, a surprise in there.
I'm kind of curious as to what Joseph put.
I'm kind of curious on what you put.
All right.
She did the eye roll for mine. Okay, ready?
Okay. Oh,
okay.
jeez.
Okay. Okay. Ant-Man and the Wasp I enjoyed better is because one, the Wasp is in it now.
Right.
You get more the feel of the quantum realm, and then Hank trying to retrieve his wife back from the quantum realm. You have Bill Foster. You have the Ghost, which is pretty cool. I didn't know about the Ghost until after the movie. There's a lot of characters that I didn't know, or villains. I feel like there's a lot more humor in this one, and with the Truth Serum.
Okay.
That one was really funny.
It is pretty funny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
really fun movie.
Yeah.
Paul Rudd is a saint.
Yeah. So, Avengers: Age of Ultron it's that middle point for me.
Yeah.
Like, there's only going up from here. But with Avengers: Age of Ultron, you had some of the funniest scenes ever. Thor, Tony, and Cap walking down the hall. And they're like, if an elevator lifts the hammer, an elevator's not worthy. And not to mention, we also get, Stan Lee's cameo in that, which I think is his best cameo of all time. He's like, you don't try to scare me, Junior. pour me some of that. And then you just see him like going off all drunk. Eggs, out to you. So funny.
Rest in peace, Stanley.
Yeah, rest in peace, Stan. I mean, it's not really the age of Ultron. It should have been the week of Ultron.
Yeah,
but you
like,
know, I mean, it
The
was a really
weekend
good
of
movie.
Ultron.
Right. And the biggest critique I think I have is I don't like how they did Quicksilver. But Quicksilver was just so new that it didn't make as much of an impact when you look at, you know.
If anything, that was more of an impact for Wanda. Than
Exactly.
For us. But to be fair, it was a surprise because there was like a very big like a foreshadowing that Hawkeye was gonna die.
And see, that's the thing. Like, if Hawkeye died, that would have been something that's, you know, massive. You know, it's not one of the big three, but it is somebody that's been with us since, you know, Avengers or even Thor.
You have people, or you watch it or an episode or a movie, and you're like, "Okay, I'm a good guy. I'm a family guy. Like I do so much for people. Blah blah blah." Then he gets killed, and he's like, he was going places. He was a family man. Yeah, he had 5 kids. That was where it was leaning to. And even then, he got injured in the beginning.
Yeah,
and then we didn't know he had a wife. And he's like, "Well, like if he dies, then he leaves behind a wife and kids, and it's like it's terrible." He was about to get shot up, and then Quicksilver was like, I really feel like they really messed with us thinking that Hawkeye was gonna die. Hawkeye was
The major downfall to that movie was the fact that Quicksilver went out, which hopefully he'll come back.
But we get Vision though.
WandaVision series.
We get WandaVision,
yeah,
which I'm really looking forward to. Whenever I saw that commercial on the Super Bowl, I literally screamed like a little girl. And my grandma was right beside me, and she jumped, and she was like, "Joseph!" And I'm like, and I felt so bad, because I genuinely scared her. Sorry, Nana. I love you.
He's not sorry.
I'm not sorry for my reaction, but I'm sorry for scaring her.
Okay, fair point.
Number 15.
Number 15.
I'm ready.
Alright, so for the next one,
Keep continuity.
3, 2, 1.
Okay.
And this is why I hate you, Josh.
Oh, shit.
Damn it.
Well, listen. First off, we get the introduction of Loki, okay? And, you know, that was going to be inevitable, but still, like, Loki is by far the best Marvel villain. The relationship between Jane and Thor and, you know, the Warriors 3, you know, all that storyline is just great. And I love to see how Thor at first started, you know, by trying to start war like you were talking about, but then gets humbled down whenever he realizes I'm not worthy enough to pick up the hammer anymore. And it's just one of those scenes that makes those characters that are supposed to be gods feel more human than anything.
Yeah, Thor's a goat. Okay.
Thor's amazing. I love Thor.
He's one of the goats, okay? Now, I chose Age of Ultron. I really enjoyed it because, one, this is the first Avengers movie that you already see them, like they're teamed up. They already know how they have that connection, the bond. Cap and Thor having the hammer shield thing. We get Vision. We get Wanda. I liked how they were making it seem like Hawkeye was gonna die. But overall, I really liked it, and it was. I love Joe and Anthony Russo getting this part of the hammer. That whole part of it was great. Just them like having a good time. They're friends. They're friendly.
Dude, we didn't even mention Cap almost lifting the hammer.
But I just did.
Is that what you were just mentioning?
Joe and Anthony Russo didn't direct this movie.
Oh.
No, they didn't. But they did.
I thought they directed this movie.
They did not.
Oh, they didn't come in until The Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
That's right.
They took this part. They did something with it. I loved it.
Oh yeah.
And I just really like the connection and also the line, "We're the Avengers. You can bust drug dealers all the live long day, but that up there, that's the end game." You know, and then it goes on to
we'll lose, and we'll do that together too.
Yeah, and it came true.
It did.
It did come true, and then just like, but at that point, it's just like, yeah. I mean, they're right. They're both right. Kind of wish that Ultron would have been like, "I'm hiding for the next new Avengers."
I'm pretty sure he's not dead. Like, I'm pretty sure.
I would hope so, but I mean, it wasn't really an age.
Well, you know, maybe there will be something in WandaVision where they bring back Vision, but they have to bring back Ultron at the same time.
Oh, yeah, okay,
Like, that could happen. I could see that happening.
Okay, cool.
But
all right.
Anyway, so
good
number 14.
Number 14. Did I really put that on there? Ooh.
We're on number 14, right? Oh.
Yeah. Ooh. I kind of want to change mine.
No, you already set a list. Leave it there.
I actually changed one of mine already.
What the hell?
Yep. Better be grateful because that was ones that we matched on.
Is it?
Mm-hmm. I switched Captain Marvel and Iron Man 3. Hang on, because I'm debating if I want to switch it up or not. Yeah, I do. And I'm going to hate myself because I feel like if you pick the one that I picked before, I'm going to be pissed.
3, 2, 1.
It was. It was, wasn't it?
Yep. I had a feeling that you were going to pick that, but I enjoyed that movie better than Doctor Strange. I didn't know him as well whenever the trailer came out, and then I studied before the trailer came out.
Right.
And, you know, the shaking of the hands and like that I saw, then the mystic arts, and then the cloak of levitation. It's just really
Psychedelic.
visually fantastic.
It really is.
And it's just really cool. And I feel like the storyline could have been a little bit more intriguing, like more to grab the audience in. Overall, the setup of the time stone and Doctor Strange developing the whole or becoming the Sorcerer Supreme.
I just hope Doctor Strange in one of his feature movies or whatever leads up to Mephisto.
That's like Thanos. It's inevitable.
Yes, it's inevitable.
Inevitable.
Now, the reason I put Guardians of the Galaxy 2 here is, one, you know, it was still hilarious. It just wasn't as funny as the first one. I mean,
No.
it was still really funny. Now, actually finding out who Peter's dad is, being Ego, the living planet, you know, he's a celestial, and finding out that Peter has these powers, that was, like, amazing. Because, like, we knew he wasn't full human whenever,
after the Power Stone, yeah.
Exactly, after
Or
after
the
first movie.
space.
No. Because
Because
remember,
he was out in space and he was like, he should have died.
But that no, that's not
And
why.
then the Power Stone is like, okay, like he really should have died.
Well, okay, yeah, fair, maybe.
He was in space for what, like a whole
But
minute?
that's what I'm saying. But no, it was confirmed that, you know, he wasn't full human.
Yeah.
After they were captured on Xandar, or not captured, but they were talking to the people on Xandar, and they were like,
Supreme?
yeah, Xandari
The Nova Corps.
Oh, the Nova Corps. Yep, that's it. Speaking of which, give me Nova. Anyway,
Me too.
Besides that, but, you know, it was just so funny, the interaction between Peter and his dad, and then they're playing catch. That was just so nice. And we're like, oh, his dad's a really nice guy. And then they just pulled the rug. They're just like, you thought? It was a really good time. There was an emotional roller coaster. It was just great.
I don't know about you, but I knew he was going to be bad. I mean,
like,
come on.
You figured he was gonna be bad, but then, you know, they're playing catch and he's like,
That's how they get you.
I know, but he got me, okay? Just let me have this.
Pussy. All right. Number 13.
Number 13.
3, 2, 1.
Okay, just a quick show and tell. I put Rip Daddy Yondu, aka Mary Poppins, and it has the arrow
Y'all.
going around.
You forgot the y'all.
Yeah, I did. I got it anyway. No way! You son of a bitch!
Listen.
I hate you.
It was a good movie.
I hate
It's
you.
not in my top 10. I'm sorry.
And you're not in my top 10 anymore.
Oh.
I have a lot of stuff to say about yours, but let me go ahead and talk. You talk yours so I can talk mine.
1, Jake Gyllenhaal as Mysterio. So good.
That's a
So
Dreamcast
great.
right there. I love Jake
really
Gyllenhaal.
is.
I know this is his pick, but let me just say, because I can't hold it in. I love Jake Gyllenhaal because
Yes.
you love him, but then you hate how much you loved him as a friend. Like they look like friends for a minute. And
They
you're like,
really did.
and knowing as a comic book fan, we knew Mysterio was bad.
Yeah.
But he was so likable.
Listen,
he
his
did
eyes,
a great job. Jake,
His eyes were just like, trust me. And we trusted him. We trusted him.
great job, Jake Gyllenhaal. F- you,
Great
but
job.
I love you.
Great job. We love you.
You.
When we found out that MJ was MJ in the end of Homecoming,
Zendaya?
Yeah, I had no idea that's who she was. I really
I
didn't.
kind of had a feeling.
I had no idea. I was caught completely
It
off
was
guard.
it's completely different portray.
But I really liked to see how that relationship was building here in
Mm-hmm.
Far From Home. And I am so excited for the next one to see how the strain of, him being out as Spider-Man is going to come around to bite them in the butt.
This is your movie.
Like,
this is
you
your
know,
movie, this
and
is your movie.
what I really liked about this movie was the setup for future. I really like that. Like, my dream scenario is Spider-Man needs a lawyer, and there just happens to be somebody that's somebody named Daredevil, but who's also Matt Murdock. They don't know that yet.
They need to get Charlie Cox.
Dude, I
They
hope
need
do.
to get him. He is like, I honestly can't think of anyone
No,
else.
just don't give me Ben Affleck again. Don't give me Ben Affleck again. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Guardians 2, I forgot we were talking about this. Like I got so blacked out from Spider-Man. I totally forgot who I picked. Guardians 2.
Great movie.
James Gunn. I love him. Disney, good job for bringing him back. I feel like they were trying too much to be funny to where it was like, I mean, watching it a couple more times, it's not as funny.
Okay.
Drax is more funnier, which is great.
Yeah.
But there are some hit and misses between him. I feel like the biggest part that I loved about Guardians is not the father relationship between Star-Lord and Ego. It's
Yeah.
Yondu.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie, every time I watch that part, I tear up because I mean, and it is so true. Like, you do not have to be the father to be, a father figure.
Dude, and that Ravager send off and that
That made me tear up more.
dude.
The whole ending just made me feel like it was just tearful and a lot of father son stuff going on there, and I really felt for that. The ending was great though. I love the ending.
I thought the whole movie was good in total. Did you want Drax and Mantis to get together? Because I felt like they were going to get together at some point in that movie.
No, it's more of like a father-daughter type relationship. He's not gonna find another lover.
He's probably not, and I know he's not.
I think he's
but-
gonna die in the next one.
Oh, don't you say that.
I feel like he might.
you
I feel like
stop
he
it.
might because his whole purpose was to kill Thanos, and now that's done. If he dies, I mean, so what? I mean,
Okay, listen.
not so
Listen.
what, but what more does he have to live
Listen, I know you're right.
for? Rocket's gonna die for sure.
Oh, God, you shut your
Rocket
face.
is gonna Guardians 3. I feel like Rocket's gonna die, and let me explain why, just real quick. This should be for another video, but let me just say it now. Rocket might die because, for one, it's gonna go more in depth into his origin.
Right.
And two, he even said it in the first one. He doesn't have that long of a lifespan anyway. So, I mean, how much longer for a realistic raccoon to live that long?
Okay, first off,
Regard the cybernetically enhanced.
Exactly. I was going to say he's cybernetically enhanced, first off. Second off, Groot. Like, what's going to happen to Groot? What happens to Groot if Rocket goes?
Star-Lord.
Listen, no, okay, fine. Okay, but Rocket and Groot have just
yeah,
bond.
but-
They've been listen, don't you wish Rockets die in the next
I'm
one?
not saying I wish. I'm just saying it's looking towards it. Whenever I predict deaths, I always think of storyline in
Okay.
the future. What makes a good story? What's the good character development of the characters?
Listen, but the Guardians have already suffered enough. I mean, they lost Gamora. I mean, that's good enough. I mean, they brought her back, but, nobody really stays dead in comic books. Unless your name
We
is
went
Uncle
way
Ben.
off topic, but I'm glad I got that out. And holy do I got something to say about that on my turn. Number 12.
Number 12.
I spit everywhere. I don't give a Josh, come on. I need that connection. I need that Ahmed and Troy thing. Come on.
Okay. Well, I guarantee you you're not going to find it during this one.
Alright. 3, 2, 1. Okay.
I don't know if I'm going to get crap for this, but let's find out.
Oh, you dirty bastard. No, you're going to get crap for that. You're wearing his shirt.
We both
You're
are.
wearing his shirt.
First off, we have a lot more movies to go. First of all, whenever I was younger, the first time I watched it, it was kind of on and off for me. I don't know what I was doing, but I knew I was distracted. But whenever I got back into the Marvel stuff and I watched it, I loved it. I fell in love with it. I didn't really fall in love with Captain America. I fell in love with Steve Rogers as a character. Yeah, I said
Okay.
fall in love.
Okay, fair.
Steve Rogers. No,
Steve
I'm kidding.
Rogers
No,
is great.
but the character. I love the character. I love who he was, and he's doing this stuff for the right reasons.
Right.
And just like what Abraham Erskine said, like it's not a good soldier, but a good man.
It's what he
and
stands
Steve
for.
Rogers is definitely a good man. The relationship between him and Bucky developed, and then we see that in future movies. We see the Howling Commandos, Red Skull, and what I also like about Captain America is, as much as the other movies were serious toned, this was a tone that I was like really into. Like it really hooked me from the beginning. Like as much of a serious tone as it is, it has funny parts, but it had that serious tone where I'm just like involved in it.
Yeah, no, it was definitely funny. I definitely liked the part where Peggy tries to shoot him. Whatever.
Oh yeah, no, that was great.
That was hilarious.
So y'all fondue. Okay, I like. This is to the point of greatness. This
is the point where we respectfully disagree. We fight off camera. Y'all don't know. Anyway, as far as Ant-Man being in this spot,
Ant-Man... I'm surprised.
Ant-Man's funny, man.
He is really funny.
Dude, Ant-Man's hilarious. Like, the whole dynamic with Hank being Ant-Man prior, and then, you know, his daughter training Ant-Man. It was like you were saying earlier, it's a heist movie and it's something we haven't seen in Marvel before. Not to mention like the development of, you know, the father-daughter issue that Hope and Hank have. And,
that is true.
You know, the fact that they get past that and, you know, Scott's there. And then when Scott ruins the moment at the end, I thought that was hilarious.
That was really funny.
And then like when Hank opens the door while they're kissing.
Like, come on, Hope.
Like, Hank, your daughter just kissed me. I don't know why. But like it
Paul
was
Rudd, I don't even think he'll be watching this, but you are a saint.
You're amazing.
I love you.
But that's kind of why I put it at number 12 because it's hilarious and it's just one of those movies where if it's cold and I'm just sitting inside and I want to have a good laugh, I'm either putting on this one or another one that's on the future, you know, in the future. So. Okay.
I just want to take a moment to thank our sponsors. We're open for sponsors,
bro. Come on, what are you
writing? It was your choice to not draw. All right, you ready?
Okay.
Oh man, we only had two matches. I want to get at least 3.
Dude, I think with the top ones we'll have at least 3 for sure.
Hope so.
All right, 3, 2, 1.
Not the same. Damn. Really?
Yep.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So going back to Guardians, the whole cast was great. Again, James Gunn is great. He's a genius with the music. What a great start to a new franchise and just getting us to like these characters and how goofy they are with evil and good.
Right.
Like good for their own intention type of thing. And I really love that. And the Power Stone, Ronan, I wasn't that crazy about Ronan, although he did get beat by a dance battle. But Nova Corps. They introduced Nova Corps, and I'm really excited for Nova. Bring us Nova. Rest in peace, Groot, the original Groot. OG Groot.
What I will say is Marvel does a great job of bringing these characters who nobody knows about and making them like big time characters that are just so noticeable and just so funny and so likable that it's just it amazes me how they do that. It really does. Now, I picked Iron Man as my number 11. Now, the reason I picked it here, and this I consider really high on the list, is because it started it all. You know, it was the start of something amazing. And, you know, they were expecting the Hulk to be their, you know, box office hit, but it turned out to be Iron Man. And this movie just did everything perfect. From making us care about the characters, to making us feel like, oh my God, Tony's a spoiled rich kid. And then he just develops into this character that we're just like, oh my God, I want to see this guy. I want to see more of this guy. I want to see him do other things. It captured us so well, and it made us want so much more that I don't think there's another movie franchise that'll ever have a first movie like this. There won't be another one. I'm gonna make that statement now. There will never be another one that'll make us like a character as much as this.
And just a quick piggyback to that. Without Jon Favreau directing this movie, there would have never been Infinity Saga.
Happy.
Thank you, Jon Favreau.
Yeah. You're the real MVP.
Now this is where things get interesting.
This is where things get really interesting.
You bitch!
Listen, we are
I'm
not
hungry.
we are not
hungry.
sponsored by Trump.
I don't
Please
wanna
don't
be.
think
I don't even know
that.
why I said his name.
That's why I was like, oh, I don't know.
Okay, we f***ed up somewhere.
That scene alone, I think, is by far in my top 3.
Yo,
Oh,
I'm surprised he rants about this so much.
Dude.
He talks about the movie.
not a big fan of that.
I thought that was funny.
Not a big fan of that.
Because
But
he got me, but it was funny.
dude, he got every time I see this movie.
In the theater, we cried together.
Dude, we cried together.
Which I have no shame in that.
Dude,
because,
like oh, I knew that was gonna be the reaction.
explain yourself.